Selena Gomez, ex-best friends, Nicola Pout, Frontieriza drama. We gotta talk about this new mess, but before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian, and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. You guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new, the whole vibe is like we're on a FaceTime call and I'm ready to spice up your life, girl. Who was your favorite Spice Girl? I'm too short. But yeah, who was your favorite? Mine was Posh Spice. Posh Spice right here. Yeah, so who was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. You guys, we gotta talk about Miss Selena Gomez and her ex-best friends. This is just so crazy to me. First of all, before we get into that, happy Sunday, by the way. I am still so heartbroken over Diane Keaton. You guys have no idea. I do something and I boom, Diane, because my mom loved her, and I grew up watching her films with my mom. Like my mom and I would grab some small bags of chips, right? Like different ones, that were like 50 cents or something, and like the small ones, and then we would like dump like 5 or 6 of them in a bowl, and we would just mix it together, like Cheetos and Doritos and Fritos and whatever. And then we would watch like First Wives Club. Like one of my first memories in life is watching First Wives Club with my mom at home. And First Wives Club, and of course whatchamacallit, the Family Stone. I mean, so many. I never watched Scarface, but I did love her baby. Anyways, girl, shout out to Diane Keaton, R.I.P. Don't tell me what to say, don't tell me what to do. Anyways, you don't own me. Yeah, it's so crazy how that happens, right? You just like, okay. Anyways, sorry, I'm back. Listen, so we gotta talk about Nicola Peltz and Frontieriza because, it's Sunday, so usually on Sundays, my tea is kind of like a recap situation, and I like to kind of just, kind of give opinions on things, that we've talked about and how things have maybe some updates on them. So Nicola Peltz and Frontieriza both did not like any of Selena Gomez's wedding pictures, okay? Zero, zilch, okay? None. And that just goes to show you something, okay? Let me tell you something, all right? And I feel like, first of all, Nicola Peltz has a whole ass drama with Victoria Beckham. Did you guys hear about this? Okay, let me just give you like a really quick recap, but then I'm going to do another video on this, more details. But allegedly, best friend, everything started because of Nicola Peltz. She wanted to wear, Victoria wanted her to wear a Victoria Beckham wedding dress, one of a kind, for, Nicola and Brooklyn's wedding, right? Well, last minute, Nicola was like, sorry, this is not working for me. And then she went with the Valentino dress. And allegedly, Victoria Beckham was blindsided by this. So that's how everything started, right? And also, you guys have to understand something. Nicola Peltz is no gold digger, honey. She comes from a billionaire family, so she does not need money from the Beckhams, right? In fact, I think her family has equal or more money than the Beckhams. So anyways, right? So Nicola Peltz and Brooklyn started, distancing themselves from the Beckhams. They didn't go to David Beckham's 50th birthday. They didn't go to some fashion shows. They haven't gone to family functions. They haven't done none of that. So apparently Nicola is not talking to Victoria because allegedly Victoria was really hard to work in at the wedding, and words were said and things were allegedly done that Nicola was like, nope. And then Brooklyn, of course, he's standing with his wife, and now, this has caused a huge rift, and allegedly Victoria Beckham is super heartbroken over this. But I'm going to go into more detail in another video. But yeah, best friend, that is the family. They're rich, they're hot, they're skinny. Like, just fucking be happy, bitch. Okay? Seriously, be happy, you privileged motherfuckers. Like, oh my god, she didn't wear my dress. Like, who the fuck cares, bitch? Spice up your life, ho. Anyways, so listen. Okay. A wedding. The day you get married. Put on that song from, what's his name? When your legs don't work, how they used to be fun. The redheaded, what's his name? Ed Sheeran. One time I had a dirty dream with Ed Sheeran, but it was not that kind of dirty dream. No. It wasn't a sex dream, girl. He hit me with his guitar. But that's just another thing, because I was sitting in his seat, and he hit me with his guitar. And then Hillary Duff came out of nowhere and pushed him. There was just I have really weird dreams. But anyways, so Ed Sheeran, right? A wedding, it's the most magical day, you dream about it. And if you're friends with Selena, that she's gone through a lot of heartbreak, honey. It took her a lot of frogs to get where she is. And yet, just because you might not be talking right now, you are not liking her wedding pictures, and yet you still follow her? Honey, you know damn good and well you heard of this wedding. Listen, one thing that I don't understand, and I'm going to be so for you, and I'm going to call out Selena Gomez right now, because you guys always say, you never call her out, honey. Watch me. If I'm no longer friends with you, right? If I'm no longer friends with you, but we have a lot of history, right? And you and I were not talking, but you see that I just fucking got married, okay? And you know how much freaking struggle I have gone through to get to where this. You can't fucking just throw me a damn like? Even if we're not talking, but we still follow each other. You can't throw me a like. You can't just go with your finger and do dun dun. You can't do that shit. I will unfollow your ass in 2.5 seconds, and I wouldn't give a damn who noticed, because obviously people are always noticing who follows who, and if they unfollow and stuff. I wouldn't care. Selena Gomez just unfollowed Hailey Bieber some months ago, honey, and Hailey Bieber just unfollowed Selena Gomez some months ago. Why can't she do the same? Listen, I get it. We are no longer in each other's lives, but why then still follow one another? You know what I mean? Now, Nicola, it is being rumored that she's basically just kind of like turned her back on everyone and on everything, honey. On the Beckhams, on her friends, on this and that. And it's all about Brooklyn. This is the thing. When you're married, right? Like, I get it's us against the world, and Bonnie Clyde and the Joker and whatever her name is. But that, honey, that's not that. I mean, listen, I get it. Sometimes you got to walk away from relationships, but like, I don't know, girl. Like, let's say that this is the real issue, right? That the wedding dress and maybe some words were exchanged and some anger. Like, I'm not going to let my husband not speak to his family because of that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna step in and be like, look, your mother and I are not seeing eye to eye, but that is your mother. You need to go and be with her, and talk with her and celebrate your dad's 50th, because, girl, these moments you will not get back. You know what I mean? If that is the case. Now, we don't know what went on behind the scenes, so let's not jump to conclusions. But me always jumping to conclusions. But yeah, I feel like Selena, look, girl, I know you might be worried about what people say if you unfollow certain people, but at this point in time, who the hell cares? They didn't even have the decency to like your damn wedding picture, girl, okay? They did not have the decency, and then you, Selena, are getting called out for not inviting Francia Riza, okay? You are the one getting called out. And I'm just like, damn, on top of them not showing me any love, I'm getting called out for not inviting you? Hell no. Like, are you kidding me? One thing that I will say is, like, being a public figure, you got to be very careful what you say and how you act and da-da-da. I get it. But listen, I'm sorry, okay? But girl, everyone has fallouts with friends. I've had fallouts with friends. Last year I had a major fallout, and I'll tell you this, that it was one of the best decisions I've ever made, because, sometimes you got to walk away from toxic relationships, and you got to make sure that you are being respected, man. People often mistake kindness with weakness, and honey, ding dong. Kindness is not weakness, okay? Because I could be kind and I can say, shut the fuck up, you are out of my life, period. All right? In the same breath as to say thank you and please, okay? Anyways, so, I just feel like, look, Selena, whatever happened between you guys, they didn't even have the decency to like your wedding pictures, okay? You need to unfollow them, and you need to just close the door. Because what's happening is that Selena is getting called out for, turning her back on Francia, her, of course, after what Francia did for her. And that's not right, because I'm sure there is something there. So anyways, that's a little update. That's a little recap. That's a little, late, end of week thoughts. Stop pretending for the internet, girl, and just fucking unfollow their asses, or them just unfollow Selena's ass if that's what you want. But be real, and let's not stay with this facade of that your friends, girl. They didn't even like your post, okay? Anyways, love you guys so much for watching. I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. I don't take any of you guys for granted. I know this week is going to be very blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Mwah. Bye.